Hello everyone, so I'm going to go over the movies I watched in April. So first off, I watched Tigertail. Tigertail has already been discussed to death, so I don't think that there's much I can add to the conversation. I will say it's a very entertaining series dealing with some of the worst people you'll meet.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol at Big Cat Rescue.
However, it's very disingenuous to call it a documentary when it's not. It's a reality show. The first few episodes are very entertaining and fun to digest, but the last few episodes really drag and it felt like it had gone on longer than it should have. The next movie is one that I rewatched with my friend Lanka. I have a soft spot for this movie since we attended the test screening for it since the writer was an alumni from our school.
A woman must have a thorough knowledge of singing, dancing, and the art of war.
It's a fun and campy take on the classic Pride and Prejudice story, and I like their unique spin on it. I love the slow motion shot of the Bennet sisters kicking zombie butt. I know a lot of people don't like it and it's tamed at the box office, but I think it deserved better. It's a fun and entertaining movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. Little Miss Sumo is a mini documentary that I saw on Netflix. The star had been an interview subject in a YouTube video I had seen a while ago, so I was interested in hearing more about her story. It's only 20 minutes long, so it's easily digestible about what it's like to be a woman in sumo wrestling. I wish it had been longer because I was interested in finding out more. However, this is a good introduction to the gender disparity in sumo wrestling. I would definitely recommend watching it. A Son is another movie I watched with a friend, and I really wanted to like it. The beginning starts out with such a bang and you're left with whiplash because you're like, whoa, what just happened? Unfortunately, at 3 hours long, it becomes a slog to watch, and none of the characters are ever allowed to become happy. It just feels like misery porn after a while. Natural Born Killers is a movie I've been meaning to watch for quite a while. And well, I couldn't finish it. I'm sorry. I appreciate its unique and innovative form of filmmaking, but it just felt way too much, and the gratuitous violence, which I know is the point, just got overbearing. Maybe I'll go back and finish it one day, but Color Out of Space. Whoa, now this is a trippy movie.
And everything just blew up.
I love Nicolas Cage's sort of comeback with the weird-ass films he's been doing lately. If you saw and loved Mandy, I would definitely recommend watching this. It's disturbing and psychedelic and beautifully shot. I will say that the character motivations made very little sense, but due to the way it's filmed, I was able to forgive its flaws. I would definitely recommend watching this. Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 version.
My dear Mr. Bennet, have you heard? Netherfield Park is let at last.
Anyone who knows me knows I freaking love Pride and Prejudice, the Keira Knightley version. It's just so beautifully shot with excellent acting from everyone around. The movie exudes such fun and joy to watch, and you can tell everyone making it had a good time. The cinematography is excellent, and everything about this movie is immaculately made. It's just a very well done production. November. Nothing says fun quite like a black and white movie about a medieval Estonian village haunted by paranormal phenomena. The beginning of the film was so bizarre and it set the tone for the rest of the movie. If you like movies such as The Witch and other folk horror movies, I definitely recommend watching this movie. I wouldn't be able to tell you what it's about exactly because I'm not sure myself, but it definitely leaves an impression in your mind. Perks of Being a Wallflower is another movie I rewatched with a friend, and it's something I loved rewatching over and over since it first came out. I love the book and the movie does a great job of adapting it since it's made by the same author. It's so easy to relate to Charlie and his feelings of mental illness and feeling like an outcast. The soundtrack is great and dialogue like,
"And in this moment, I swear, we are infinite,"
has been reposted all over Tumblr countless times. That being said, I was not a fan of the romance between Charlie and Sam. It just felt very forced and cringy. You can't celebrate Passover without watching The Prince of Egypt. It's such a beautifully told and animated movie about Moses and the Book of Exodus. It's definitely a must-watch. The biggest disappointment this month was The Tigertail. I was a fan of Alan Yang's work on Parks and Rec and Master of None. This film debut feels strangely unpolished and amateur. It's incredibly expository and every character says exactly what they're doing and feeling. I definitely expected a lot more from Alan Yang. High School Musical. I never realized how similar this is to Grease. Crip Camp. While the title may be controversial, the documentary definitely isn't. As a disabled person, I really appreciate how much they humanize the disabled campers. They showed the people from camp to when they grew up and started fighting for disability rights in Congress. It's a very impactful and powerful documentary that everyone should watch. The Parent Trap. Man, I miss the old school Lindsay Lohan. The Craft. Wow, this movie is bonkers in the best of ways. I love a good female-focused witch movie, and it definitely delivered. It's campy and fun, and while some people may say the special effects feel dated, I actually don't mind them. It's definitely worth a rewatch for Halloween. Time to Hunt. I was excited to watch this movie because it stars Choi Woo-shit from Parasite. It's another take on the classic heist movie, but deconstructs it a little. However, it starts out strong and fast-paced, but quickly loses steam by the last one-third of the movie. If they had edited it down more, I think it would have been a lot better, but ends up being a muddled mess. Next up, The Stepford Wives. I watched the original version, and this movie has introduced so much to pop culture. It coined the term the Stepford Smiler, and maybe it was the spark to start the suburban horror genre
I'll just die if I don't get this recipe.
that a lot of Tim Burton films tackle, as well as Sofia Coppola and others. This movie definitely did not disappoint. I might make a longer video about it, but it's very much ahead of its time. It's by the same writer as Rosemary's Baby, so it focuses on the same themes of women not being taken seriously and being psychologically manipulated by everyone around them. It holds up incredibly well, even to this day, and I highly recommend watching this movie. Kumiko the Treasure Hunter has been on my to-watch list for a while, and I'm happy I finally saw it. It's a strange and quirky movie about a reclusive Japanese woman, starring Rinko Kikuchi, who is way too obsessed with the movie Fargo. Rinko Kikuchi is an amazing actress who definitely doesn't get recognized enough by the US for her talents. It's definitely a fun watch.
You take me to treasure.
I'll take you to the Mall of America. It's a lot more fun.
Lastly, and boy, what a way to end the month with horror. It's a bizarre Swedish film about an ugly woman who has a very strong sense of smell. She meets a man similar to her, and well, I won't spoil anything, but there are some scenes that are very hard to watch. It is very well made, but it's not a movie I would ever want to watch again. Also, it makes the baby from Eraserhead look almost normal. Well, that about sums up the movies I watched in April. I think I watched a pretty good variety of films from young adult to folk horror to family drama. Until next time,